This video is brought to you by...
I'm switching lanes so much, man. They can never get behind me, man. Yeah, I'm taking it all away, man. I ain't playing with them, man. One thing is the key, man. It's consistency, man. It don't matter, man, how good the product is, man. If you ain't out there, man, to get rid of it, man, the supply to demand, man, you going down, man. You in it for nothing, man. Get with me, man. I'm starting a whole league, man. Get with me, man. Get with the winning team, man. Cool green clothing. We going all the way. And we coming straight out of Baltimore.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2Times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, y'all know what I need y'all to do. Be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. Keep up with me, because I'm going to use a lot of nicknames and stuff like that. But y'all ain't slow. I know y'all can catch on. If you're new to the fam, be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future uploads. Let's get right into the story. Clubs, bars, or lounges, they are cool depending on the environment and what's going on in the location. Some people go out with their peoples, have a few drinks, leave before closing, and call it the night, because they know as the drinks keep flowing and more people come in, it could quickly go from laid back to a hostile environment. It's sad to say, but pride and ego mixed with alcohol is a recipe for disaster. Even if a person wouldn't normally do something wild, that liquid courage can change the game. And depending if it's a special occasion like New Year's Eve, where more than likely everybody is lit and out their body off the drinks, pills, whatever their substance of choice is, a wrong look, stepping on somebody's shoes, or a simple argument or disagreement can turn fatal. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will be discussing the case of a situation that turned fatal on New Year's Eve 2016 in the East Baltimore bar. According to sources, on the day of December 30th, 2016, in the late night hours of that evening, a man we will call Mr. Blue met his older brother, 39-year-old Keith Patterson, at a bar lounge called Robbie's Nest, located on 2250 East North Avenue. The brothers allegedly entered the bar, had a seat, and the young lady we will call Miss K, who was an associate of Keith, was also hanging with the brothers that night. As the night went on, more people would come in to enjoy New Year's Eve, including 31-year-old Jordan Moody, and an off-duty lieutenant who worked at the Maryland Division of Corrections named Richard. But as everyone was partying, allegedly a fight would break out between a man named B involving Keith and his brother. B was later dragged out the bar. Keith and his brother, Blue, returned back and joined Miss K. As the evening progressed, Keith got up from his seat, leaving Miss K sitting alone. When according to sources, Jordan would join her and sit in Keith's chair. The two would start talking, as Jordan was trying to see what was up with Miss K. Keith doubled back and told him that was his seat. This is where things get crazy. Allegedly, the men would go and start arguing back and forth about the seat and Jordan trying to holler at Miss K. The situation would try to be calmed down by people inside, including a bartender. Both men left the bar, Keith and his brother through the front door and Jordan through the side door. But once outside, allegedly, Jordan flashed a blick. Keith and his brother started walking up North Avenue, away from the bar, when according to sources, shots went off. A man running behind the brothers could be seen by witnesses opening fire. As Blue kept running, Keith fell, and the trigger man ran up and stood over him, still shooting. Then let off more shots at the bar to the point bullets went through the window, almost hitting people in the spot. The man would stop shooting when someone shouted out, "Whoa, whoa, it's me." Then the trigger man would take off on foot. As the off-duty lieutenant, the bartenders, and others called BPD, they arrived to the scene. They found 12 9mm shell casings, also a man lying in the street unresponsive, suffering from multiple wounds. The victim was later identified as Keith Patterson, who unfortunately would not survive. As police talked to witnesses, most of them stated the events of that night which was a few different altercations, but the main one being about a seat, and no one seemed to know the man's name who was arguing with Keith. A worker who was working at the carryout window that night showed BPD the surveillance footage that showed the two men arguing, a young lady sitting down, then everybody walking outside. Not long after, a man could be seen creeping back with a blick in his hand before shots were fired. Police talked to more people, but no one seemed to know who the shooter was. Then about 2 weeks later, a tip came in and a picture of a man that matched the description of the shooter that was sent to BPD. They contacted Miss K, the young lady who was with Keith that night. She allegedly told police she only knew the man as Early, but the case would go cold with no more information. A year and some change would go by before a Crime Stoppers tip would come in, identifying the man in the picture as Jordan Moody, who some called by his middle name, Earl. That's when police connected the name Miss K told them, Early. Jordan was soon picked up and charged with murder, 2 counts of attempts, handgun violations, unlawful possession of firearms, and other charges. Before the case made it to trial, BPD received notification that Miss K, one of their witnesses, had allegedly stabbed the man because everyone was approaching her, saying it was her fault Keith was hit. And some pointed out Jordan didn't stop shooting until she said, "Whoa, it's me," before he ran off. As witnesses were being rounded up for the court date, BPD got the identity of Keith's brother, Mr. Blue, who told them he didn't even know his brother was hit until he ran back down the street and saw him laying there. As the testimonies were getting off for trial, a recorded jail call was sent to prosecutors, with Jordan referring to himself as Earl and stating to who he was talking to, "I'm in this situation because I tried somebody's girl." As trial started, prosecutors brought in Miss K, Blue, Keith's brother, the bartender, and others from that night, who all stated what happened leading up to the shooting, and that they saw Jordan with a gun, but his defense was everybody and everything they were saying was hearsay, and Miss K or Blue wasn't reliable witnesses because at first, allegedly Blue was only known as John Doe on the record and stated he didn't know what happened. And on cross-examination of Miss K, Jordan's lawyer pointed out she had stabbed the person prior to trial. But with surveillance video, eyewitness statements, Jordan was found guilty of first-degree murder, reckless endangerment, attempted murder, and handgun violations, and sentenced to life plus 35 years in prison. Rest in peace to Keith. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. More of this story, it's crazy how 2 men that didn't even know each other crossed paths and ended with one being gone and one doing life. I understand respect as a man, but pride and ego got it to the point no one wants to take a minute and think, and any small disagreement ends in guns coming out. Keith tried to leave, but by that time, it was too late because words exchange and pride gets hurt. Most people got to show they built like that, whether it's at their own demise or the demise of others. We got to be able to step back and know if we are in the wrong and say, you know what, you got that. That doesn't make you a swine or make you weak. But when we are taught any encounter with another black man should end in someone gone, we are doing that dirty work for them. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, crazy story, you feel me? Rest in peace to Keith. I send my prayers and condolences to his family, like I said. And at the end of the day, you know, the case went cold for almost 2 years. But when that picture came out, people pointed out Jordan as the trigger man, you know. His lawyers were saying it's all hearsay. They were saying the witnesses weren't stable. But he ended up getting convicted anyway, man. But yeah, y'all already know, man, this is another episode of the Baltimore Way. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. It's all love, fam. I'm out.